This video will demonstrate the patient check-in and charting in Ceph Office. Ceph Office displays the status of the patient from the time they come into the office to when they are dismissed. I am going to show you one optimal way to use this check-in system. Patient sign-ins can be done from an iPad or a dedicated sign-in computer, but for our example, we will have the front desk person sign the patient in. A patient can be signed in a couple of different ways. You can right-click in the colored appointment block to display the patient status menu, or you can click once in the block to highlight it and then change the status using the drop-down list on the right. We are going to sign in the patient. Click Sign In and the confirmation screen. You will see that there is now a small I in the upper right-hand corner of the appointment block. I stands for in, as in checked in. When the assistant in the treatment room looks at the screen, they will see that the patient is here and ready to come back to the chair. Once the assistant has seated the patient in the chair, he or she will then change the patient status to seated from the patient chart screen. I will show you this function a little later. Once the patient is seated, there will be a little S in the corner of the appointment block. Now, anyone looking at their practice manager's screen can see that the patient is seated and ready to be seen. The assistant will display the patient's record by clicking in the magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner of the appointment details screen. This will open the patient's record so the assistant can confirm and verify any patient details right here in this window. If any of this information needs to be changed, simply click the Edit Patient button and make the changes. To display the patient's chart, choose Patient Chart from the treatment menu in the left column, and New Chart Entry can be clicked right here. But before we do that, let's go over to the right and seat the patient. We're going to seat Dan Steele. To begin a new chart entry, simply click the New Chart Entry button below where the patient's photo would go. Let's start by selecting our entry type. To do this, you click to display possible list of entry types. In this case, we are charting an appointment. The patient's treatment status is active, and their progress is on schedule. There are a few fields on the screen that contain required information, and they are designated with a pointing hand. On the left, you'll see the attending staff area. If you need to change that value, simply click on the silhouette icon and pick from the displayed list of doctors. Moving down the screen, we have fields for tracking patient cooperation, and also if the appointment status, if the appointment was canceled. We can track hygiene, elastic wear, headgear wear, appliance wear, and we can also list loose brackets by tooth number. Broken appliances can be tracked by using these buttons here. Just clicking the up button just adds a number and the total number of broken appliances in this visit. When you save the record, it will be added to previous broken appliances to give you a total number here. All notes about the appointment are entered in the Notes and Procedures Performed area, and there are a few tools to help you accurately chart the visit. The Procedures button will open up a window with a set of predefined procedures from which you can quickly choose to populate your Notes Procedures Performed field. We will cover how to customize the predefined procedure list in another video. This visit is for retying upper and retying lower, and then you click OK. And you see that those notes are automatically entered into the Notes field. During this exam, it was noted that Sam's canines are erupting due to space creation. We will make a note of that by typing directly into the box. You can use the highlight tool to draw attention to an entry. And clicking the Styles button will give you common word processing formatting options. If this visit included taking photos, x-rays, or molds, you would click the Records Taken button. You could also chart dental conditions in this screen. Click the Edit button to display your tooth choice and the conditions, and then click Choose. On the right side of the window is where you record configurations of elastics. To specify the configuration, you first click on the plus button at the bottom of the window. This will display fields for instructions and for size and weight of elastics. If you click and hold, you will see that the instructions are picked from a standard drop-down menu. Clicking on the size and weight field displays a list from which you can choose the appropriate elastics. This list is fully customizable in your office setup preferences, which again is covered in another video. The next step is to place a graphical representation of the elastics on the configuration chart. Click the plus button to begin the process. Then click on the first tooth. You will see the tooth is selected and has a little red circle around the number. Now click on the next tooth. Now the teeth are connected with a line representing the elastic. When you have finished the configuration for this elastic, click the End button. And now we'll go over and do the next one. Click the plus, click the first tooth, the next tooth, and End. Each path will be represented by a different color for ease in identification. You are able to print and email elastic wear instructions using the Print and Email buttons up in the upper right-hand corner. Your most used elastics configurations can be saved as a template. Saved templates can be accessed by clicking the Templates button and selecting from the drop-down list that will appear. To select appliances, you will click on the plus button, which will initiate the fields. Click on the arrows to get the type of appliance, and then click over on Instructions to pick the instructions that go with the appliance. For your arch wires, simply click in the field to display a set of the list of arch wires and pick the appropriate one. Down here is where you will enter your next appointment. Click the plus button and you will open up the next appointment specifier. You will click in this box if you are referring the patient out to another doctor. In this case, we are not. We click the appointment code magnifying glass, which opens up our list of appointment codes. Select the code for the next appointment, and you see that the appointment was automatically scheduled for 4 weeks out. This can be overridden if it does not suit the circumstances. Enter any treatment notes necessary, and then click the Choose button. Click the Save button to save the chart entry, and you see that that chart entry is now part of the patient's record. The assistant can now unseat the patient from the upper right-hand corner and send them to the front office. The front desk can schedule a new appointment quickly by finding the patient in the To Be Scheduled list, double-clicking on them, and you see that the patient's information is in the appointment doc in the upper right-hand corner and is ready to be scheduled. The appointment book is automatically set to 4 weeks out. We can find an open Ortho Adjust appointment and schedule them easily right there. If you have any further questions about checking in and charting, please feel free to call or email our support department. We are always happy to help.